Good morning. We join with other UUs in the tradition of striking the gong 3 times, once in memory of those who have gone before us, and once for those of us who are here now, and a 3rd time for those coming in the future. This is Sunday. It is the 30th. It is the next to the last day of the month. And I'm Lillian Fifield, your service leader. And it's nice to see you all. And it's nice to have Reverends Bonnie and Andy Anderson back with us today. We'll talk more about that. But I want to make sure that you know how welcome you are here. 1 or 2 faces are fairly new. Just know that this is a place where you can be yourself, but not by yourself. And whomever you are, whoever you love, however you describe yourself or name yourself, you are welcome here. And we especially welcome those for the first time or those who have come and are newly returning. We hope that you'll stay after for coffee or tea or water. Don't see any goodies on the back table, but that might appear. But that gives us a chance to talk and to get to know you a little better. You have some announcements in your order of service. The main one is the opening of the next art show, which is a retrospect of Jeannie August Sage's work. And that is happening on Saturday, the next Saturday, the 5th, 2 to 5. If you were not here for the first one, don't miss the second. It's a fun time. Lots of people from the community will be coming to view Jeannie's work, and you'll probably see old friends and maybe make some new ones. If you have one of these, please be sure it's turned off. As I was saying, our ministers are today Bonnie Anderson, who will be talking about the wise spiritual warrior. And that is someone who embraces a journey of self-discovery in order to benefit others, enlighten him or herself, and change the world. So that promises to be an interesting talk. And we also have that incredibly talented Reverend Andy Anderson bringing us his special beauty and truth-telling through original music and song. First, a few items. We are one of the many churches, several churches in Roseburg, who collect regularly money and food for the fish pantry. So I'm going to ask a couple people to help me, and please know that your money and food will go to support those in need of food and need of some help. Our church offertory comes a little later. Thank you so much. Those gifts will be most helpful to others. Also, at this time, we'd like to welcome our live streaming audience who are watching us from home. It is at this time that we light our chalice. And some words for chalice lighting today are by Maureen Killoran, entitled Cherish Your Dreams. She says, the poet Langston Hughes has written, hold fast to dreams, For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. May this chalice flame challenge each of us to cherish our dreams, for all the things worth doing begin in the courage and inspiration of a dream. Some additional opening words that came to me is, why are we here? And this is what I found. Here today in this place with all of you, may we listen so that we can hear, and may we hear so that we can feel, and may we feel so that we can know, and may we know that we can change ourselves and this world. And now, Andy, would you give us some music?
Of course, yes. I'm living in the perfect moment. Don't worry about yesterday. One step in front of the other, smiling, it's a brand new day. I let the good times keep on rolling. It's the only way. I let everything around me high. Let love just have its way. Sun keeps shining each and every day. I know where there's a will, there's a way. I won't let anything get in the way of me living in a wonderful way. Oh, what a great day to be alive. I'm moving in a new direction. I don't worry what could have been. There's nothing that can hold me back now. Everything's okay. May mercy bring compassion, love and happiness, and overflow my life with kindness. Hallelujah, namaste. I am all that I am to be. You and me, there's only love, you see. Oh, what a great day to be alive. What a great day to be alive. Oh, la 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 la. Find in life what speaks to you. And don't ever let go, no matter what you do, yeah. I see with both eyes open, cause it's a brand new day. Every moment keeps on pushing me to be more than I can be. I'm always grateful, thankful, with every breath I breathe. My life is so wonderful, beautiful, everything's right here for me. All that I am to be. You and me, there's only love, you see.
Thank you, Andy. I see no children, so let's move on to our circle of life. That's the time for joys or concerns that you'd like to share with the congregation. And I'll have a microphone up here. If you have something to share, please line up in this direction and come across the front. Thank you, Jake Tranter, our media person. And of course, we always have our greeters, Al and Mary, who were here today, and we're grateful to them also. We have one more item before we move into the service, and that's collecting the offering. As I'm passing the baskets, please know that the amounts that you contribute, whether it's a pledge or a donation for the day, will be put to really good use by this congregation. Thank you so much. You know that your support is what fuels this community and the justice and the love that burns so brightly and, of course, keeps the doors open. So know what is given now is gratefully appreciated. And thank you. And now we have Mr. Andy again, Reverend Andy Anderson.
Don't let this life pass you by. Stand tall and let your truth, let it shine. You're in charge of your destiny. It's only love that can set you free. And love is the only thing. Look straight ahead, no matter what life may bring. Let's not divide by class or race. Don't buy into the rage and the hate. It's only love that can let us see. Oh, it's only love that will set the world free. Love your fellow man, no matter the color. I know we can. Don't wait for the pine bar, thinking it will come from somewhere in the sky. It's only up to you and I, so let's live it from the inside out. And we respect and love one another. Get us straight, let's love each other. We are one people living on one planet. We will build or destroy together. Oh, so can we love and let love see? Oh, it's only love that will let the world be. Set the world free. Only love will set the world free.
Wow, thank you, Andy. And now we get to have Bonnie Anderson coming up with her very, very special way of putting words together that it's hard to describe so fully how she mixes personal stories and examples and uses the words, kind of drops something right into the heart. And I'm eager to hear what she has today. So bringing Reverend Bonnie Anderson up means also a meditation for us and her sermon, and then more music from Andy Anderson. So please welcome Bonnie.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back and see all your beautiful faces. So let's start out with a meditation. So you can put your feet on the floor. If you feel so comfortable, close your eyes and just take a deep breath. Fill those lungs all the way up, and then let it go. Take another deep cleansing breath and let it go. As we let go of the energy it took to get here this morning, let go of your to-do list and anything heavy on your heart. And be present, be here now in this moment. And imagine in front of you a beautiful waterfall. A beautiful, tall, roaring waterfall. Or maybe it's a gentle waterfall. Whatever your mind pictures is perfect. And as you stand in front of this waterfall and watch the water, you know that you get the feeling that it's love washing down. Love washes down, makes all things right, makes all things whole. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can go stand in this waterfall and let the love wash all over you. Let the love wash over you. And just stay here in this place, watching the love fall, feeling the cleansing in your body, feeling the love penetrate every fiber, every cell, washing you clean. Love washes away every concern, every ache and pain, every problem, as we stand tall and clean and clear, a clear channel. Take another deep breath and feel that love enter your body and let it go. One more deep breath, fill all the way to the top of your lungs and let it go. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. I'd love to see everybody open their eyes because it's like you've been somewhere else on a trip and all of a sudden like, oh, I'm back here. So today's topic, the wise spiritual warrior, you know, this is a group that's very intelligent and very deep. And so this morning, this topic, though, is very simple. I felt called to give a very simple message. Simple yet powerful. Very profound and powerful, yet uncomplicated. And I'm going to start with a story that I'm sure you've heard before. about the old Cherokee chief, who was telling a story to his grandson to teach him a lesson. And he said, "Grandson, there's a fight going on within me. And on one side, there's a wise spiritual warrior. And on the other side, there's an angry evil warrior. And they're fighting each other. And the spirit, the angry warrior, the evil warrior has regret. It comes from the ego, not from the heart. There's self-pity in this, where he's whining, like things never go my way. There's no courage there. There's guilt and judgment. This warrior, the angry warrior, is always judging other people and always upset that people don't act the way he expects them to act. And he likes to be loud and confrontational and feels like he has to get out and change the world that way. Where the wise warrior, the grandfather said, believes in oneness, is authentic, which just means that warrior is himself and is awake. And in every precious moment that we have, this warrior is awake, experiencing all the beauty of the earth. And this warrior is centered in the heart. In the heart, not in the ego, but in the heart, in love. Like Andy's song was perfect because he said, "Only love, stand tall, and love sets the world free." Love is such a powerful thing, and that's where the spiritual warrior comes from, is love. And therefore, this warrior is trusting. It trusts life, not afraid, but trusts life to go forth courageously. So the grandfather said, "This war, grandson, is going on within you, and it goes on within everyone." And the grandson says, "Grandfather, who wins this war? Who wins?" And the grandfather said, "Whichever warrior you feed. Whichever you feed." So, like Ernest Holmes says, where the mind goes, energy flows. So the place that we spend time thinking from is where the which warrior wins. So which one are you feeding in your life? The negative part that always sees everything wrong, that always points out what's wrong with someone, or always moaning about how life isn't fair? Or is it the side that sees the bigger picture, that sees the solution through the problem? Even when going through a crisis, as we all have at times in our lives, is seeing the bigger picture. Mark Nepo, do you know Mark Nepo? He's a wonderful author. He's got a book called The Book of Awakening that has readings for every day that's really beautiful. And he says, when the path is blocked, step back and see more of the way. You know, so much of being happy and seeing life from a spiritual side, to me, is seeing from the bigger picture. You know, rising up to a higher vibration and just expanding how you look at things. Because I can get a little telescopic view of a problem that I have, and then it goes over and over and over in my mind. It gets bigger and bigger. But changing the way we look at, like, what was it, Wayne Dyer, who said, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. It's so true. The spiritual warrior listens to the divine, knows that he or she is connected with life, with all of life, with the universal life, not alone and separate, but together. And knows that we can listen to that voice of the divine. Because if you have a concern or a problem and you ask life for help, if you ask love for help, you ask a higher power for help, it comes. It may come in a way you don't expect. It may take longer than you think, But if you are aware, if you're in the present moment, you can notice these little clues. Have you noticed that? You might even see, like for instance, I was thinking about something. I don't know what I was thinking about. Andy and I were sitting down on the swing by a river, and we looked up, and we were in the middle of a meditation. I broke the meditation because I opened my eyes, and the buzzards, remember that, were flying. You know how they do in a circular motion? They just ride those wind currents, and they were going up and up and up, and they weren't even flapping their wings. They were just in the current of life, the warm current of the earth. It just lifted them. So we looked up and saw all these birds just flowing with life. And it was an answer to me, relax, don't worry about things. Relax, life supports you. Life supports you. So I just taught a class on a book that I highly recommend called Outrageous Openness by Tosha Silver. It's a great book. And in it, she has, we did an exercise that I've done before with other workshops, but it's called, you make what's called a love box or a God box. You may have heard this before. You just take a box, a small box or a big box, whatever you want, and decorate it or put a beautiful picture on it of something or just somehow make it special. And then when you have a concern on your heart, when you have something that's a problem that's developing, you write it on a piece of paper and put it in the love box. Turn it over to the universe. That's probably my phone. You hear that? I turned my phone off, but that may be the vibration. Anyway, I'll put that in the God box. Put my phone in the God box, right? So you just write it out, and put it in the box and say, oh, I don't have to worry about that because it's being handled by a power greater than I am. And you know what? It works. Some of the people in the class had big concerns. They put them in there, and somehow they were solved. I do now. I'm doing that with everything, and with desires that you have. You have a great desire that you want something. Just put it in the box, and let it go, rather than ruminating about it. It's very powerful. I don't remember what the situation was, but first of all, I'll say that in thinking about which warrior you spend time with, I've been studying spirituality for years and years, and I've been a minister for years. So you'd think I would be on the side of the peaceful warrior all the time now, right? I've reached that pinnacle? Nah, he'll tell you that. No. And we just had my our oldest son Aaron, and daughter-in-law and 2 grandkids visit for a long visit. And I found myself over on the other side, the judgmental side, like, you feed your kids that for breakfast? I didn't say it. I thought it. I didn't say it, at least. Or, really? That's how you feel? Or, so I spent so much time over in that other place. And I can't remember what the situation was, but they were going to go to Eugene for a couple of days and let us watch the kids. And then they thought maybe we should take the kids with us. They were vacillating. We wanted to watch the kids. I put it in the love box. I said, okay, it's gonna resolve perfectly. So I put it away, let it go. And then he called and said, yeah, we're gonna take the kids with us. And then I thought, okay, I gotta live with it, because that's what the higher power. And you know what? We had a break in the middle of their visit of a couple of days where we got to relax. We didn't have all the noise, and although we did have to watch their dog, so that was another thing. But so you may not even think that was the solution that you wanted, but you have to trust it's the perfect solution because it's coming from a higher place. And the wise part of us knows that there are no limits. There are no limits. The worrier, the other side says, oh, I can't do that, I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough money, or whatever, where the wise spiritual warrior knows everything is possible. That it doesn't play small. It doesn't play small and say, oh, I can't do that. And you step up. And the fearful or angry warrior is addicted to struggle. It wants us to struggle. Come on, you got to struggle with this. It's ego-centered. It believes in separation, being alone. And it sees limits everywhere and is judgmental. I know that one. I know that one too. And so one of the questions I've been asking myself lately, and I invite you to ask, is which one will you feed? Which one are you feeding? You know, when I got upset about our son and was ruminating about it, I went, oh, which warrior am I feeding? Am I feeding the peaceful warrior, or am I feeding the angry, the judgmental, the problem side of me? And the spiritual warrior sees things differently, steps back, and looks past appearances. Instead of getting angry, you can ask these questions. What would I like to see instead? What would I like to see instead of what's upsetting me? Or another question is, what is the divine's highest idea here? If I just surrender it to the divine and say, what's the highest idea here? Plotinus said, I do not argue, I contemplate. I contemplate. You know, the world view, the society's view tells us to make war on our enemies. It's not about peace. You know, you watch CNN and they're all upset about something. It's okay to be outraged about something that's going on, but when we make that our mode of having to fight everything, the peaceful warrior speaks from the heart, which always comes from love. And I think what helps me get into oneness is remembering to see the intrinsic worth of every individual, even though I might not agree with them. Every individual has a connection with me and an intrinsic worth. Nisargadatta Maharaj said, all separation, every kind of estrangement and alienation is false. Every one. This is the ultimate solution to every conflict. So he's saying oneness is the ultimate solution to everything. And that means I have to focus on the strength of people that I don't agree with rather than and how they're like me, and that shifts everything. For instance, in our neighborhood, we have a lot of people who we are not aligned with politically, who we may not agree with their religion or their God, the way they see God. And if we focused on that, we'd say, oh my God, we live in a neighborhood of all these people that you know, are different from us. Instead, you know, we see them walking their dogs. We stop and chat with them on the way to the mailbox. You know, we buy eggs from a next door neighbor, and we see the love. We see how much they are like us. They have grandkids or kids that they care about. They're taking care of their yard. They're getting old and getting operations like we do. So we see. So what we say is we live in a wonderful neighborhood. And even when Andy gets lured into like a religious conversation, like one of the neighbors asked him, are you born again? And he said, yes, every minute I'm born anew. And he sort of looked at him like, I don't know. It just put him off the track, right? So we get along fine with our neighbors, and that's coming from the wise, peaceful side. The fearful warrior tells us we have to make things happen. I have to make it happen. If I don't agree with someone, I have to change their mind, or I have to make it happen. Where letting it happen is so much more peaceful. Another book that I recommend that I love is called What's in the Way is the Way by Mary O'Malley. And she says this, rather than always being in the fix-it mode, I learned how to meet myself exactly as I am, opening to the place beyond judging, fixing, getting rid of, or trying to understand. Just changing the way we look at it. And it's not our power that changes things. It's the divine working through us, working through us. We turn within and let the power come through us. Joyce Carol Oates, the wonderful author, said, "I'm just the garden hose that the water sprays through." I love that. I'm just the garden hose that the water sprays through. So we are a conduit. We're a conduit for the divine. And our job is to be open and receptive and to listen. So would you like to be a conduit for joy? Wouldn't that be cool? Or a conduit for love? That means you get all you need and you spread it out in the world too. It's like a conduit for prosperity means all my needs are met and then I can help others. I can give money to this wonderful church. And so being open and receptive to this and being a conduit, like what about tomorrow if we all went out and said, I'm going to be a conduit for joy? How would you get up in the morning? How would you greet your partner or your friends, or if you live alone? How would you treat the person in Sherms that brings up your groceries? Would you call them by the name on their name tag and have a conversation with them? Being a conduit for joy or for love can be a beautiful thing. So which warrior are you feeding? Think about that. The next time you get upset about something, where is your attention? Which warrior are you feeding? What's the background noise in your life? What's flowing through your garden hose? Because we can be a conduit for love. We can also be, after I listen to CNN for a while, I can also be a conduit for, do you know what's going on? For worry. And I don't want to do that. We can all affect change, and we may not even notice it. It may take more time than we like, but like the bamboo that takes years of growth and all of a sudden it bursts forth, we can be willing agents of spirit, wise warriors. Rumi said, "Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own truth." Unfold your own truth by opening up to the wisdom from the divine. So, which one will you feed? Thank you. And we're having a conversation. Is that what we do? Would anyone like to make a comment or a question and we have JC right there.
Well, I always take notes, just in case there's something I want to remember. And I was thinking about what you said about taking action, thinking up something and making something happen, or doing something else with the box and letting things happen in your awareness. And so I was trying to decide what my question would be, and then you came up with unfold your own truth. And I said, oh, okay. Thank you. If I want to change somebody else's behavior, it's best not to get in a fight with them about it, because then they have to stand up for themselves, and then it just goes on. And there's very little love or trust that doesn't get trampled in that kind of a thing. So the unfold your own truth really, for me, fits into your box where you put things.
Yeah.
And let them happen, because then I'm not the happener. I'm just a participator in the change that I want to see. So I really thank you very much. I know we talked beforehand, and I made the comment of wielding the sword I have already fashioned in my life as being something an 87-year-old is trying to do. And I realized that as much as I said that, I don't see it that way at all.
Mm-hmm.
What I wield is a seeing things some other way, a different way.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your encouragement today, Bonnie. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, and you know, because we put something in the love box doesn't mean we don't have to take action. Because sometimes we do. Spirit, or we'll have to step up and courageously move forward and do something. It doesn't mean that we don't have to do anything, but sometimes it means letting go. Thanks, J.C.
Hi, I'm Rose. Thank you so much. I really needed to hear everything that you said this morning. And you said many things that resonated with me. However, one thing you said that was especially resonating was the fact that no matter how many years you've practiced spirituality, studied spirituality, been a spiritual teacher or minister, that sometimes you still can get sucked in.
Oh, yeah.
And just it was a really good reminder that that's okay.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
And I looked up that book by Mary O'Malley, and I'll be ordering it. So thank you.
Thank you. It's so true. We think we have to be perfect sometimes, and there is no perfect in that way.
Thank you, Bonnie, for that reminder. I just wanted to relate a short story. The other day I was in the grocery store and I was irritated beyond belief by the people in front of me who just, couldn't seem to, it just took forever. And by the time it was my turn, I was almost boiling. And instead, I looked at the cashier and we had a pleasant conversation instead, and it was just all gone by the time I walked out of the store. So it was like a switch, went from irritated to happy. So.
And that's great, thank you, because you can switch that when you're in the middle of it. And I sometimes get irritated by people in front of me that take a long time. And yesterday, I forgot to give my coupons at Fred Meyer until it was already rung up. So here I am with like 4 or 5 coupons, which I never have, and she's got to do all this stuff, and then she's got to call somebody, and they have to okay her giving the money back. And here's this young guy next to me with like 3 items, rolling his eyes. I said, he's where I usually am, And I just turned to him and I said, I'm so sorry. I would have let you go through if I saw you had such few items. And he goes, that's okay. I'm patient. I think he was sort of impatient, but when I spoke to him, he softened up. So it just depends on which viewpoint we're looking from, huh?
I'm a person who is quick to judge, can't help it. It's in my head. It doesn't come out of my mouth, but it's in my head. But I think that the very simple box over here, box over, I can do that. You can't try to fix your husband. You can't try to fix your kids. You just have to sort of listen to what's going on and make your choice. How am I going to react if I am? Or just let it go. So it's been a long, almost 80 years, and I'm trying.
I know what you mean. And we can try and fix them, it just never works, right? Somebody told me about a book that was written that was like supposedly a bestseller. It's probably a joke. But they went and bought it and got it on, and the title is How to Change Other People. And she got the book out and she was so excited. She opened it up and every page was blank. Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you have a filed copy send me, I would appreciate it.
Sure,
Thank you, and I could share it with others that might want it.
sure. So does Andy have I think Andy has a song, and it may be about everything being possible, right?
Yes.
That which comes from the
That's all.
wise warrior.
Sometimes I lose my way, and even in the darkest day, there's a light always shining bright, leading me into the light. When I stumble and lose my way, something within will always guide my way. I listen to that voice inside, reminding me that's where my love resides. Every day is a perfect day to surrender and let it lead the way. It's in my life, it's all I am. I release and let go and I know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. I know that nothing is impossible. And I remember that everything is possible. I know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. And when I forget nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. Things in life will always come and go. It's so good to know what you know, you know. We are free and one with all of life. Keep smiling, everything's alright. I am lifted each and every day. Truth and love, oh, is my way. And I am marvelous, and I am beautiful. I celebrate, speak my word, and know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. Nothing is impossible, and I remember that everything is possible. See, I know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible, and when I forget nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. Nothing's impossible. With spirit, with love, everything is possible. In my neighborhood, everywhere I go, I'm one with the universe, and just let it flow. Look all around me, it's all I see. Oh, the gifts already given to me. It's up to me to know and believe. Speak my word, today I'm free. Nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. When I forget nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. Nothing's impossible. With spirit, with love, everything is possible. In my neighborhood, everywhere I go, I'm always with the universe. And I remember that everything is possible. And nothing is impossible.
Andy, you just did my closing words. So let's just extinguish the chalice. We're going to extinguish the chalice, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each of us. So we carry this flame with us as we leave this place, and we share that love, that openness with all we know and all we love, and especially those you are yet to meet. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you all, and please stay for coffee and tea and conversation.